Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial and welcome to our match preview for our game against Brighton as we take the trip down to the Amex Stadium to take on a side that we haven't beaten in 4,150 days. That took me a while to work out.
Did it? I thought you were going to say years at the end of it.
No. 4,150 days, but that curse ends tomorrow. I hope you are all well. 5:30 kickoff. We're on a tea-time kickoff live on Sky Sports. You wait for Peter Drury to be commentating on West Ham beating Brighton for the first time since April 2012. Gary, I was 5 then.
I was younger, slimmer, less grey. Those were the days.
How are you, mate? You all right?
Very good, very good, very good. Tomorrow's fixture, though, Jake. Every other fan in the Premier League looks for Man City away as their write-off. We, West Ham fans, look for Brighton away. Brighton away.
Yeah, we're different. We look there straight away. And honestly, as I waltz up to the Amex tomorrow, as I said to you before we came on air, the PTSD of last year is just going to hit me. It will hit me. But yeah, wow. Listen, Brighton, they're a very good side. We're going to get some insight on them in just a minute. But before we do, we've had an exciting week. We signed a Greek defender in Konstantinos Mavropanos, but we're allowed to call him Dino, so that's a lot. Good. Wow, I've been practicing all day. And we've had an exciting week because the last time I spoke to you, I had no idea. And I passed all my GCSEs, Gary. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Not many of us have got beauty and brains, Jake. You've got to make the most of it.
Very kind of you. Very kind of you. So that's all done and dusted. So to wrap up a perfect week, let's hope West Ham can finally beat Brighton. Now, your thoughts? Obviously, Mavropanos isn't going to be involved tomorrow. He's still got an injury. Kudos is on his way. He's making his way to London. An exciting signing in that. But they're not going to be involved tomorrow. Hopefully, Alvarez and James Ward-Prowse will be involved in some capacity. But it's not going to be an overly different side to what we saw against Chelsea. The side that won against Chelsea last weekend. How are you feeling about it, Gary?
I think obviously got an enforced change with Aguirre.
Yes.
So we need a central defender. Whether he uses Bonner, whether he uses Kehrer, or whether he brings a new lad in, who apparently played at the back of Alvarez. I don't know. That's going to be the one. But they played Danny Welbeck up front, don't they? So he's an old season pro. So maybe he'll give it to Bonner. So we'll see what happens.
I'd like to see Bonner in there. Somebody put it on Twitter a little earlier, and they said, would you prefer to see the sort of mobility and quickness of Kehrer, or the sort of experience of Bonner in there? And I'm leaning towards Bonner, to be honest with you. Obviously, it would be ideal if Mavropanos could have been able to come in, but I think the best option for this, in my opinion, is to bring in the season pro of Angelo Bonner, Gary.
Yeah, he very rarely lets us down. I can't think of an occasion where he lets us down. But one stat I noticed from last weekend, I bet you missed this one. He played 30 minutes. How many times did he touch the ball, do you think?
I don't know.
2.
2 times?
In the whole 30 minutes. So we had 9 men, effectively. We played with 9 men, not 10 men.
But to be fair, that's an interesting stat. But I thought Aguirre was reasonably solid until he did that moment of stupidity.
Yeah,
I didn't notice the difference, which I think is evident to the fact that I do think Bonner steadied the ship quite well. Touching the ball 2 times is a bit strange, to be honest. I didn't really notice that, but we didn't look any weakened without Aguirre there and Bonner in there, which tells you that Bonner is still there, in my opinion. And
I think we were very solid. We didn't look like we were going to let one in, apart from that deflected shot, which was a fantastic save by Aguirre. What's his name? Alphonso Areola in the last minute in injury time. That was a brilliant save in injury time. Other than that, I didn't really think they were going to score. It's some meat and drink to Souček and Zuma to head out. So I thought if we play like that tomorrow, organised, confident, hit them on the break, we could get a chance. I mean, Everton gave the perfect performance last season, didn't they? Went down there, sat back, beat them 5-1.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're going to do it, but that's the blueprint.
So. Yeah,
that's exactly. It's a classic Moyes model, that one.
If Everton can do it, we can do it. Right, let's take some comments before we move on to a bit of Brighton. Robert, I hope you are well. Kent as well, I hope you're well, mate. Hope to see you tomorrow if you're going down. P. Gads, hey, I'm surprisingly optimistic. Yeah, I said to Gary before we came on, I'm apprehensively optimistic. We're in a similar boat, P. Gads. Will the curse end tomorrow? Yes.
The one
How
thing,
long has it been? Oh, sorry, Gary.
So carry on.
How long has it been since we won away, though, Jake? Did we win away towards the back end of last year?
We won at Bournemouth, didn't we? 4-0.
Yes, April. What are we in now? Flipping August. Well, to be fair, until we beat, I can't remember who it was. It was all the way back to August last year before
Fulham we beat, didn't we?
Fulham. That's it. Yeah. So our away record isn't great.
No. Bournemouth was the last one.
Yeah.
One thing I said to you before we came on air, Jake, we cannot be as bad as last season. There's no way. That was the nadir of last season. The 4-0, the away end, absolutely mutinous towards Moyes. Yeah. And that was a low point. So we can't do any worse.
Oh, for sure.
The only way's up.
For sure. Mr. Terry Newsham, evening all. JC, Gary, I will see you tomorrow morning, Terry, bright and early. Sausage sandwiches, I'm hoping, on the go. Lovely stuff. I look forward to seeing you, sir. I hope you keep it well, mate. Lawrence as well, hope you are well. P. Gaz says, I don't know how excited I could be about signing an injured centre-half. The worrying thing that David Moyes said today was there isn't a time frame on his injury, which concerns me, to be honest. Whether that's a bit of smoke and mirrors just to put it to the side for a bit so we can get him back. He's training on grass because we've seen videos, so it can't be that bad. But hopefully sooner rather than later, Gary.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no point rushing the lad. And I mean, I assume that the medical team did their job properly. So, it's not like it's not really serious. Hopefully,
let's hope not. And remember as well, food is half price inside the stadium. The game was bad, but the cheesy chips beforehand were very, very close. Gary, can you remember? It was a thing of chips, and the woman just sprinkled some cheese on, and it didn't even melt. And we were still outside the club shop, and I was like, I just can't eat this.
I do remember.
It was bad, wasn't it?
The whole day was bad, to be fair.
Yeah.
But at least I didn't get a parking ticket. That was the only thing.
Well, exactly. The park and ride was good. That was the only good part of it. And you're driving, of course. Yeah, exactly. I can't miss that. Kudos is massive, and so is West Ham. Exactly. Thank you very much, Ken. Kudos to West Ham and kudos to JC on his exam success. Thank you very much indeed. Oggy will play, I think, because Zuma hates playing left centre back. Yeah, so he's going to be that left side of that back four. Centre half wise. That is, of course. I don't know exam results. Thank you very much. So we're playing the same team apart from McGurb with no Alvarez or Dino's. Wish they would stop saying Kudus is done. It isn't. I don't think it's far away, Helen. I don't think it is far away. I'm sure we'll see you tomorrow, Kent, at some point. Frema, I hope you are well. Terry says, yep, I'm going chauffeuring you and Jesse, I hope. So do I. I hope so as well. I hope so as well. Lawrence says, it sounds like the injury was something we were aware of when doing a signing. So you never know of West Ham, but you'd like to think it can't be that bad if we're signing him to come in the short term, Gary?
No. I mean, I literally don't know anything about him as a player. I know he played for Arsenal and then Stuttgart, so I haven't seen him in the flesh. But you would think that he should be a good signing. But I must say, I think we've spent the Rice money wisely so far. We haven't done a Tottenham and wasted it on lots of rubbish. I think the players we brought in, I think, makes the squad quite strong. I think at the moment. Yeah. If we can get a left back in and maybe another forward, that'd be good.
Of course, yeah, of course. Dad says, "I'm there, Terry. I just hope Jake wakes up in time." I'm not even going to answer that. I'm not even going to waste my breath on it. Early as you like, Rich. Just let me know. I'll message you about 5 minutes away, and I'll get like a surprised emoji about how early we are. That's usually what happens. Lee, hope you are, mate. Frema says it's nice to see Moyes at the presses at the moment. The Moyes smirk is back on. There seems to be, his swagger's back a bit. He's got a bit more confidence again, hasn't
he? Yeah. I mean, to be fair to the guy, 3 seasons in a row in Europe for the first time in club's history, won a trophy. Yeah. He deserves to be backed a little bit more than he has been. So, I mean, Sullivan's either got to give a new contract or get rid of him. He needs to make it clear what he's going to do.
Yeah, I agree. Jay says 2-1 West Ham tomorrow. Look at the optimism. I agree with the optimism part of it. We'll take a point tomorrow. Definitely I would. I'd snatch your hand off for a point right now. 3 games done, 5 points on the board. I think that's a good return for what we've got. Right, Gary, I'm going to show off your good looks a little bit more now. And we are going to go like this. I hope this works. I'm going to turn that. Oh, I've pressed the wrong button. Hang on, I pressed the wrong button. I'm going to go here and talk a little bit about Brighton. So I've had a Brighton fan send me this. I can't turn this over. I'm the wrong side. I don't like it. Hang on. There we go. So Brighton fan sent me this over a little bit earlier on. He said the start of the season has been amazing. Can't complain when you are top. Going forward, we are ruthless. However, we have shown weakness at the back, especially on the counter-attack. Milner still needs time to settle in, and losing Caicedo is a massive loss, a bit like losing Declan Rice. The way we play as football has changed through losing Caicedo. We seem to draw the press less and go more direct more often than not. We'll come back to a little bit more of that a little bit later on. But to start with, Gary, if I switch the screens back over, losing Caicedo, it hasn't bothered them or worried them, the other, losing the signings, has it? So do you think losing Caicedo will impact them?
I think so. I mean, they played Luton and Wolves, which I think if you ask the majority of fans, most people would say they'd be in the bottom six, those two.
Yeah.
So I don't think they've played anyone yet. They've also lost McAllister. And if you look at their centre midfield last week, it was Gilmour and kind of the other guy. And Gilmour was on loan to Norwich last season, wasn't he? So I don't think they're that strong in midfield. Going forward, they're very good. And they're solid at the back. But I think, they're not as strong as they were last season at the moment, I don't think. So, we could say we've got a chance. Because I thought Caicedo bossed Declan Rice in both games last season. I thought he was excellent. So, I think it has definitely weakened them.
Yeah, Milner was an interesting signing for Brighton because his sort of time was up at Liverpool. And I sort of looked at that signing and I thought, oh, that's not very good. But then thought about it a bit more and thought it's probably going to be an effective asset for them this season, especially with Europe.
James Milner's the ultimate pro, isn't he? He made his debut in 2002, before you were born, Jake, and he's still playing now.
5 years before I was born.
Yeah, he's still playing. He's so fit. I think, and his knowledge and experience in the dressing room, as you say, they're in Europe. He's been there, done it. I think it's a great signing for them. I guess it was a free. I guess it's a 1 year deal, maybe an option for a second. I think it's a no-lose situation. I mean, I'd have taken it at West Ham just for the experience.
And I think as well, Brighton are entering unprecedented sort of circumstances this year. Going into Europe, they haven't got a huge squad, so the experience and know-how and just overall, I don't know, just like loud and confident voice of James Milner, I think really could sort of push them on effectively. I mean, if you look at the two veteran Liverpool midfielders, it tells you all you need to know about them. James Milner's gone to another Premier League club in Brighton to help them, and Milner's and Henderson's left off to Saudi. So yeah, I never liked him anyway. Glad he's gone.
I think I might be wrong here, but I think it's Brighton's first ever season in Europe. So I think so. Yeah,
I think it is.
They need some experience, so I think it's a great signing for them.
They've started the season with consecutive 4-1 wins. First up against Luton, and then against a Wolves side that were very good against Manchester United on the opening weekend. Just done over by the technology in the end there. They've impressed with a near perfect start to the season, which does that give you a bit more fear, even though we've got a bit of confidence going into the game after last weekend, Gary?
Like I said, I think Luton and Wolves will be in the bottom six at the end of the season. So I think you're right about Wolves' first game of the season. They're very unlucky, but Manchester United have been very poor as well. So I think you've got to take that into consideration. The guy that worries me is Mitoma. Yeah. I mean, who does a degree in dribbling? I mean, he actually did his thesis in Japan University on dribbling. So he actually studies it. Did you know that? Yeah,
I didn't know that, no.
Yeah, he's got a degree in dribbling, which is just incredible. And his goal he scored last week, I mean, I don't know. He even went past Ballon Dawson, which is unheard of as well in that run. So
not he's the guy.
No, exactly. He's the guy you got to watch. We've got to close down and March as well as we're scoring for fun as well. So they got.
You've just given me some more nightmares. Mitoma, I can just. If I shut my eyes, I can just remember my view, and I can remember Mitoma for 45 minutes constantly battering Johnson down that left-hand side every single time, doing him for pace, for skill, putting him on his backside. That was not a good time. Mitoma, very skillful, very good, very effective, very dangerous player.
Honestly, Jake, I think that ended Ben Johnson's career that afternoon.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the worst performances I've seen in a West Ham shirt from anybody. Yeah. And again, I may be wrong, but I don't think he started a game since. I think
probably not.
I think his confidence. You could see there was one bit in the second half. The ball came to him. He just missed the whole thing. Just missed it. It's like me playing out there. It's awful.
Exactly. No, I do agree. Don't diss the father, Jake. I don't diss the father. Why would I do that? I don't think I do. Did I?
I don't think so.
No, exactly. See, Gary knows. 1-1 says Dad.
I'll diss him for you.
Yeah. All right, go on then. I'll pay you. Terry says, take a point and scurry back home. I'd take that now. He's on a jet to West Ham. Hopefully, Kudus is, yes. If Brighton were on the Bay, would they be called the Bay Girls?
3.
West Ham under-21s are leading at Ellen Road against Leeds, 1-0. Casey with the goal. Very good. Here we go. Giving it all the lip because he's top of your prediction league, right? Giving it all the lip. Right?
I know.
All week. Oh, look, I'm at the top. Look at me. To be fair, me and him are at the top. Gary, what's going on? Why are you up there? Where are you?
Long way to go. I'm like the guy in the 800 meters, sits at the back.
Slow burner.
Comes round the front at the bell. I'll be there. Waiting to come through. Don't worry. It's a long way to go.
Exactly, marathon, not sprint. 2-1 Hammers tomorrow, says Lawrence. Paqueta and Alvarez use their dark arts on Mitoma.
Yeah.
I saw something that Antonio said on his world famous podcast a little bit earlier on, where Paqueta said to Emerson, because in the Chelsea game, Sterling was battering us, no doubt about it. And Paqueta said to Emerson, "I'll deal with him." Sterling did a little like flick and trick around Paqueta, and then Paqueta went to Emerson and said, "You can sort him out. He's not my job." Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I found that quite funny. Paqueta, he's had a difficult fortnight, but he was good last week. Hopefully he can continue that, and maybe Alvarez to get a start. I don't know, Gary.
I thought Paqueta's been good probably now for the last 10, 15 games. He's been probably our best player towards the end of last season. And I thought he was excellent last week. Considering what's going on in his head with the Man City move and the betting allegations, I thought he was really good last week. Really, really good. Yeah. Alvarez, I know he only came on for 10 minutes, but he looks a unit. My goodness me. I mean, he made a couple of great tackles. So he looks like he could be a player. I know you can't judge someone on 10 minutes, but he looks like he can play. So that looks like a good signing as well. I don't know how fit he is. Whether he's fit enough to start tomorrow, I don't know. But good to get him in the team longer term. And I also think Thomas Souček's playing a lot better now. Declan's not around, so it's all positive at the moment for us.
Yeah, we'll come on to Souček in just a moment, but just with Alvarez, I don't know whether he'll start, because to be fair, I thought that midfield was quite positive last week, and for the first time in a while, I went, that's a solid midfield there. And yes, we'll come on to Souček in a minute. To be fair, you can look at what Moyes says in the pre-match press conferences, whether Alvarez will start or not. I don't bother even listening to them anymore, because he loves his smoke and mirrors. He'll say one thing and do the other. So. We don't.
The only player I possibly leave out myself is Ben Rama. I don't think he's a bit too hot and cold for me at the moment.
He's not done enough.
No, he hasn't. So I think Pablo was excellent at Bournemouth. So
I'll put him in.
Or even Cornet, God forbid.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I tell you what, Dad said to me last week. He must be awful in training. Cornet must be absolutely awful, because Ben Rama has. I can't remember the last game I watched and went, Ben Rama was brilliant today. I can't. I actually can't remember.
Start of last season, he was quite good.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's 12 months ago. That's not good enough. At this level, I'm afraid that's not good enough. Fornals in there or Cornet, I don't mind which. I don't think Fornals has been treated fairly, being dropped. I thought he was good. And it must be frustrating for him. But I'd put Fornals in there if it was me. See, Terry's gone and done a quick Google about your dribbling degree. He's confirmed it. Well done, Terry. There we go. He didn't know that off the top of his head. He's just done a quick Google. So very good knowledge, Terry. Very good. Gary, not Terry. From says, just sold my car to Lucas Paqueta. I placed my bet on Steiden in his jet.
Very good. Very good.
Who is this corner? Just one. We've got just one. I'm here all week. Right, let's try this again. I've got one more piece of Brighton-based information, and if I click the right button and go there, ready? Here we go. Swish that way, Gary. There we go. Other way. He talked a bit about West Ham, my good old Brighton friend. He said James Ward-Prowse looks like a great signing, a player who rarely blanks against Brighton. Wow, that'll James tomorrow. However, we are still sat unbeaten in the last 12 against you. Thanks for reminding me of that. And I don't see that changing after our start to the season. Saying that, the last time we won 3 games in a row was in 2018 under Chris Hughton. We've had 2 4-1 wins so far this season, so I'm going to predict another 4-1 says Taylor. That's his prediction. And some interesting insight there. James Ward-Prowse always seems to have a good day out against the Seagulls, and I mean he's got to have some confidence after that last weekend, Gary.
Yeah, I mean the first corner, you think blimey,
beautiful,
and then the second one literally identical, and Aguero scored. And you can see teams now thinking we don't want to give a corner away against this lot, let alone a free kick. So I was quite impressed with him. He's got an engine on him. He keeps moving around. He looked very disappointed to be taken off. I think it's probably the first time in about 100 years he's ever been substituted, because at Southampton he wouldn't have been taken off. So we'll see how he gets on with that. But I thought it was really good, really good.
Yeah, no, I agree. Thomas Souček, a player that I thought divided opinions last week. A few people praised him. I was one of them. A few people still criticised his game. He just looks like he knows what he's doing without Declan Rice there, and that's got to be a positive for him going forward. Now, I don't think he'll drop in for tomorrow, no way, because I think he was reasonably effective last week.
Yeah, I mean, we said before on this podcast, on this channel, that Souček, when Rice hasn't played, Souček's been quite good. Yeah. Now, I don't know what the dynamic was between the two of them, but it seemed to me in the first season, Souček was definitely allowed more freedom and Rice sat back. And then Declan seemed to want to be more box-to-box midfielder in the second season as Souček was there. And then he was terrible last season. So, I think he was good last week, I thought, personally. I thought he was very good. He's always there in the box, defensive headers. He's never going to be the most technical footballer. He's not going to spray the ball around 50 yards here, 40 yards there. He needs to do what he's good at, win the ball, knock it off. That's what he needs to do. And try and break into the box like he did at Bournemouth and nearly scored there.
Yeah. Oh, that was very smooth of you, Gary, to get your secretary to answer the phone there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'll say that quietly.
The dog will come in a minute, probably.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no worries. Everyone's welcome. Let's move on to some predictions. Gary, are we breaking that curse tomorrow? No.
I want to say yes, so I'm going to say yes.
I like it.
I'm going to say a draw, 2-2.
That's not breaking the curse, though. We drew to them before.
I know, but I'll leave you to go for the win.
Okay, all right, deal. Deal. What a first game back at the Bowl. Wow, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Now someone's ringing me. No, I can't answer the phone. Well, to be fair, at least it's not on ringing. Hang on, let me just turn that off. Okay, there we go. Jake doesn't have a PA. You're my PA. Oh, dear. Only joking. Well, you get a good agent fee. You take a nice slice out of things. So
yeah, it was actually my wife's phone. I just like pointing that out. Mine's on silent.
I know. As all professional hosts do, phones on silent. Exactly. When Alvarez plays regularly, do we have space for old potato side? This is the interesting thing. This is the selection difficulties that David Moyes is now going to be faced with from Gary.
I mean, he's not going to drop Paqueta. He's not going to drop Ward-Prowse. So he brings Alvarez in. Surely even Moyes won't shoehorn Souček in left midfield or right wing or somewhere. So he's got to go out, I would say, wouldn't you?
I think so, because we haven't signed this geezer for £35 million just to sit on the bench. Well, mind you, it wouldn't surprise me. But Souček's the obvious replacement to fall out. But if he keeps progressing, then he's gonna,
Yeah, but you say that for £35 million, Jay. He did the same thing to Haller and Skamaka, sat him on the bench. So, he might well do. We'll see. The beauty we've got, obviously, European competition, we've got a lot of games, so that will certainly get some playing time.
Exactly. Moyes will convert Souček to striker.
Goalkeeper.
Yeah, Mauro and Fellaini. He won't drop Souček. No way. See, this is the stubbornness about him. I can't see him dropping Souček. So I just hope that somehow he can get some sort of agreement in place to. Oh, I've got another start tomorrow. To put an agreement in place to get these players the game time they need, deserve, and probably have been promised. Otherwise, they wouldn't have moved. But it is what it is. Right, it's time for my prediction. I just think with the signings we've made, I've said it for a couple of years now, because of the sort of, I don't know what the word is, the lack of transfers we've had in the last few years. Whenever we do get a transfer done and over the line, there seems to be just a bit more confidence and a bit more happiness that flows through the fan base. And I've seen a lot more people today putting, on social media and saying on YouTube videos and all the rest of it, saying, you know what, I think we're going to do them this time. You know what, I've got a bit more confidence. Last year we were going down there knowing we were going to lose. Don't get me wrong, we didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was, Gary, but we all knew in the back of our head we were going to lose. We still have that, but we've just got a bit more increased confidence for me.
Yeah, I think certainly the new signings have given confidence. The first two results, beating Chelsea. I honestly think, Jake, I think Chelsea will have a good season. They've got a good manager and they've got some good players in there. They just need to settle down and finish their signings.
Interesting to see how they play against Luton in the next half an hour.
It will. I thought Sterling was man of the match. I thought he was incredible last week. I was in the stadium, as you know, and he was just brilliant. They've got some really good players. So I think the fact that we beat them will give us a lot of confidence, I think. And then we've got Brighton to try and beat tomorrow. I think if we don't give them too much respect, don't sit off, because they are good going forward, and a player own game, we can get something. We just need to believe in ourselves.
Yeah. I agree.
It cannot be as bad as last season, which I said to you before was the worst second half performance I've ever seen in my entire life. We didn't have a shot or a corner, so it can't be that bad again. So let's see.
Oh dear. Well, in my very short life, that was the worst. That was the worst game I have ever seen in real life. I was just there thinking, what is going on? Just in utter disbelief.
If they'd have been us 10-0, we couldn't have complained.
It wouldn't have been a sort of it wouldn't have been harsh on us at all. At all.
We haven't got away. So it's going to be better tomorrow. And I'd like to predict a win, but that'll be putting the jinx on us. So I'll leave you to do that, Jake. So you're going to say?
Thank you. 2-1 West Ham.
Yes, good man.
Come on. Just we talk about Chelsea. Simon comes in on cue as always. Simon, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Jakey, West Ham are going to get pulled apart tomorrow. We'll come back to that. I've just screenshotted that. Oh dear, I've sent it all up the wall now. I'm back now. I tried to screenshot it, but it didn't work. Bookmark it. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you, come back to this. There won't be a reaction after the game because we're there. But there'll be some sort of video. Come back to this summer. We are not losing this football match, I think. Good evening, Mr. Cox. I'm away this week and about to pop to watch the Chelsea boys. It is a relegation 6-pointer. It is a huge relegation 6-pointer. The bridge is falling down. Relegation 6-pointers, but it's tough times. It is tough times. I do hope West Ham beat Brighton. So do I.
That lad they bought, the blonde winger, what's his name?
Madrid.
I mean, did you see that volley in the second half? It was right in front of us. The ball came over, and he passed it over for a throw on the other side.
He shimmied it like halfway back to the field, didn't he?
But there's a man lacking in confidence. Man alive, Jesus, it's awful.
He was absolutely awful. All he's got going from his pace. Pete Gadd says, I'm 1 point behind you in the FPL league. That's what I'm just looking at. Gary, are you in our FPL league?
Yes, but I'm too far down to look.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, Prisoner of Moyes. Pete Gadd is on 123 points. I'm 124. What's your team called, Gary?
I can't remember. No. Champions of Europe.
That's it. Champions of Europe. Right, I'm going to find that. Oh, look, Dad's down in 48th.
I'm below him, I think.
I think you are. 57th. Modest. Out of 65.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry. I've made some sweeping changes this week, so...
Have you? Oh, yeah,
some big things. I shall return, as they say.
The only thing getting pulled apart is Chelsea to Champions League.
Whee!
Now, be nice to Simon. Be nice. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
A good thing, I mean, where do they spend £1 billion?
I don't know. I got a stat up. Gary, they were very good. I passed everything. Got a couple of A's. They were very good. I was very thankful for it. I wrote this down just to put just out of interest a few days ago. Right. So just before we go, a little side note. So West Ham has spent 821 million over the last 10 years. I wrote this about a week ago, so forget Kudus for 40 million and all the rest of it. So 821 million, barring this transfer window, we've spent that over the last 10 years. Guess how much Chelsea have spent in the last 10 years, Gary?
Blimey. 2 billion, I suppose, something like that?
2.3 billion.
Jesus.
in 10 years.
But they've got a load of kids out there. They've got any, apart from Silver, it's about 106. And then and Sterling, that's it. They're all kids.
I mean, Antonio put that Disasi on his backside, went through and banged it in. I mean, I do think they've got trouble there, and it will be interesting to see how they fare against Luton tonight. But we will wait and see. They're not our business anymore. They can worry about themselves. 2-1 West Ham. The goals are coming from Lucas Paqueta. I feel like another header. Suchek. A Suchek set piece from a James Ward-Prowse bit of whippage. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I think. So coming up tomorrow, we will have our build-up show. No, we won't. Oh, sorry. We will have our road trip tomorrow morning with some new technology. Look out for that.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, I know. See, Gary, you don't quite have the pleasure yet to see it.
No.
Later. Yeah. So we've got the road trip. We'll have some sort of footage from around the ground. We'll have the vlog. We'll have a reaction and anything else we can capture down by the seaside at the Amex Stadium. Paqueta goal and booking. That's the key. The booking. Fremmer says we should give them a prize for just spending money. It's impressive. Yeah, more money. And that's why West Ham have to wait until late in the transfer market. They don't have that kind of cash. Exactly. I'll have a tenner on that, Rich. So will Pac-Man. Yeah, you will. 2-2, 2 times James Ward-Prowse free kick screamer. Let's try saying that after a few. 2-2, 2 times James
That'll be great. That'll be
free
great.
Kick screamer. I'd love to see that. Down our end, James Ward-Prowse over the wall, tipped into the top right-hand corner. Bosh. Gary, some final thoughts?
Have a good day tomorrow, Jake. It's pretty first time I've been to Brighton for ever. Actually, I couldn't get tickets. I was on holiday, so hopefully we'll get a good result. As I said, it can't be any worse than last year. So have a safe trip, good journey, and I think we're going to play well. And I think, like I said, minimum of a point. We'll take that, and that'll be a great result for us.
Let's hope so. From me and Gary, thank you very much indeed, everybody, for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you're right. There's 27 people watching. Gary, I don't know if you know, I don't know whether the people watching know, they might have already done it, but the voting for the Football Content Awards has reopened again. We're back for another year, and we're hoping to go one step further this year and win it, because why not? Because just why not?
Lauren and I voted already.
Thank you very much. So if you would like to vote, all you need to do is click the link that I have just put into the live chat. What you need to do is scroll down to the best young content creator category. Type in West Ham Unofficial, scroll to the bottom, submit, and your vote has been lodged. And I'm one step closer to getting a trophy and having a dig at Spurs fans on the stage. Let's hope so. footballcontentawards.com/voting to vote for us. It'll be a massive help. And yeah, West Ham Unofficial, best young content creator. I might not be there. We may go to Anfield this year, Gary. Anfield. Yeah.
Nice. Nice to see West Ham win something at Anfield, so it'll be good.
Exactly. All the way to Anfield. Let's hope so. But that's the plug done. That's it from me. I'm going to let you enjoy your evening. I'm sure West Ham Fan TV will be on in a bit to entertain you all. But that's it from me. Gary, come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Speak Brighton, please. See you soon. Thank you very much. And bye-bye. Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Gary.